All right, so we're live.
We are
What's up,
live.
everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Today I'm here with the one and only Karsten Kroening.
What's good, everybody?
Just introduce yourself if anybody doesn't know you. I'm sure more people know you than me, but
Um,
anyways.
yeah. What's good? I'm Karsten Kroening. I run the meme account Meme Saint Laurent. Um, Pretty much, yeah, that's all I really do. I have a YouTube channel too. You can check that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I've been watching your channel for a long time, like since it was started. So it's super cool that you hit me up
hmm
to do this. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, me too, bro. Yeah. I've
So
just
yeah,
checked out your channel. I was like, damn, this is fire. I wish I knew
thank
this
you, bro.
existed for a while.
Thank you. I'm really trying to work on the content and like make something that I genuinely enjoy, which is sometimes hard,
hmm
but I'm kind of coming into it, I guess. So, just a disclaimer, I'm going into this knowing that you know a lot more than me. So,
Well, I don't
I'm
know
not going to
about
try to
that.
pretend, oh, come on, bro. I know about that. But I'm not going to
All
try to pretend like I know more than you. So, I hope to learn some stuff from this.
right, that's good attitude. That's good attitude.
So, where are you quarantined and like how has that whole thing been going? Has it been like stressful or easy, or how has that all been going?
So I've been quarantined. Like I lived in Seattle and then I came back to Minnesota and I thought it was only going to be for a couple of days. And so pretty much I've been quarantined at my house. I don't, it's like my parents' house, but they don't live there. So I've been
Hmm.
pretty much alone the whole time, which can be interesting. But yeah, like my parents don't really live here. So I've just kind of been, they have another place.
Interesting.
And so I've just been kind of going back and forth. I'll go see them on the weekends, and then I just kind of stay here,
Cool, cool.
um, do work, mostly school, just finishing up school, and then also, yeah, just side projects, trying to work on YouTube and stuff.
Nice, nice. So, I saw your last stream with the fashion and I know you talked about a lot of stuff with him. It was a long stream, but like, how does it feel to have such like an impact on what people like? Like, you can literally make a meme, and some at least somebody out there will be like, "Hmm, that's cool. Now I like that." Like, is it
That
weird to have like such a kind of influence over people? Like, people say influencers, but I feel like the meme pages in fashion as of right now kind of have more of an influence than actual like influencers.
you're probably somewhat right about that. That we have more of an influence, but I don't know. It's a really weird feeling. Like I just kind of like it always kind of started off as just me posting things that I liked or I was interested in, and no, like even like I see people copying stuff that I promote on my YouTube or like more people wearing like Rick Owens or whatever. It's like really weird. Like it's not
Yeah.
something I ever expected to happen with the meme pages. Like I thought it would kind of change people's like philosophy and ideas and kind of attitude towards fashion, maybe take it less seriously because like at the end of
Yeah.
the day what I'm trying to promote is that people just like whatever they like. And so
Hmm.
it's interesting to see. I guess it's only natural to kind of see people gravitating towards what I like, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I saw that recently you started making memes about like Paul Harnden and like Truly Wrecked, like two people that are like lesser known. Do you
hmm
think that like eventually they could be this like follow that same course, or like do you think they'll always stay like kind of lesser known?
I mean, I think the reason I make those memes is because I want like people to know about them because they need some attention, I think,
Hmm.
because they don't have a lot of consumers like even Rick does. And people don't really consume Carol Christian Poel that
Yeah.
much. Um, but like Shruly Wrecked and Paul Harden, like they're really independent designers and they have some cool work. And I just want to like make a meme, A, to kind of like give them recognition, and B, because I think it's like, people should check them out a little bit. Like it's cool. Yo, G, you're lagging out. I can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, it just said I was muted for some reason, but anyways, like even in like the group chats I'm in, I've heard people start mentioning like his new work and stuff more, like the whole suicide thing, which is
hmm
very interesting.
Yeah.
And but like if they take a look at his old work, it's very like very cool. Like from even in 2010, he was like using like laser cutters and not even like sketching his designs and just kind of going with the flow and going against the rules, which I think is
Yeah.
something really cool and people could follow after.
hmm
So yeah.
This really is insane because he just like again, he used laser cutters before anybody else did. His
Mhm.
methods were totally different. He was actually taking advantage of technology way even before like huge houses like LVMH were.
Yeah.
Um, and of
Because
course, he makes like the suicide stuff now, which is cool and like an
yeah.
interesting art piece. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like in fashion there's like a whole like kind of almost taboo against using stuff that's not like traditional or sort of organic, and
hmm
using like technology like that even 10 years ago. It's crazy to think that 2010 was 10 years ago, but
yeah,
like even 10 years ago, that was pretty bold of him. And I
yeah,
was
it
just like going
was.
through his YouTube channel, and the runways were also really cool. Like he had one with like a drone, and he had like the models like run up to the drone and it would say like non-conformist detected, and they
hmm
would run away. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I definitely go look into Struli Rek's work. It's
Yeah.
definitely very cool.
And even just like last year, he was using apparition leather, I think before Rick was,
Mhm.
if you're familiar with that. That's like the
I'm
leather.
not. What's that?
So you know like those geo baskets and like the leather Rick shoes he Rick made that had like the clear leather and it was kind of
Oh
greenish.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's like a very new technology and a newer leather.
Mm-hmm.
And Cerulli was actually using that before Rick, and he made some like jackets out of it, and it looks
Oh,
really
okay.
cool because it's leather, but it's like translucent. But
And
yeah,
doesn't it like age and wear like really interestingly?
yeah,
Where I've
it
seen like
does.
somebody, I swear I saw somebody made a video about those shoes and like over time how they like changed completely, which
hmm
was really cool to see.
Yeah,
Um,
it's an interesting material.
so have you like picked up anything over this time?
Yeah, I have picked up a good amount. A lot of it is in my Bai warehouse because I'm periodically just
Okay.
bidding on things because I get bored a
Hmm.
lot. And so like I'll be able to pick up like a tee or something for 30 bucks and just throw it in the warehouse and then I'll ship it all out. So I bought a bunch of comb pieces. I bought two comb blazers, both from autumn winter '01 that I actually have in hand.
Okay, cool.
I bought some undercover ambivalence cargos from 2001. And then I also bought a Craig Green jacket, which is on its way, and a pair of these shoes from like a small artisanal brand. I don't remember what it's called. I can check it out. Let me look.
Put me on. Put me on.
Officine Creative. So they're just
I've
like,
actually heard of that on Instagram.
yeah, they actually have some like, I don't know, I got them for a really good price. They're just like regular derbies that kind of look, I think they kind of like copy other artisanal designers a tad bit, but I just saw them and I
Okay,
was like, yo, I'm gonna have to cop that. That's fire. It was a good
cool, cool.
price. hmm
Yeah, you've definitely gotten more than me. So you're a Bai guy, not Zen?
I am Bai strictly because I'm ignorant and I don't like I'll use other proxies like I've talked about this before. But I just use Bai because it's kind of mainstream. Also from Japan is good. You know,
Hmm.
it's like I honestly don't know why I use Bai. Like it's just not something I think about, to be quite
Yeah, I
honest.
browse both, but I've yet to actually pull the trigger on something from there. Yeah.
Yeah, like the crazy thing is that like for a while like I would get a lot of stuff from that, and then like really started finding the deals
Hmm.
because you just kind of have to learn where to look. Like it's almost like a treasure hunt on there, which is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fun. But yeah.
Like I saw somebody in one of my group chats got some like 2001 Jordan 3s, like the mocha ones, like white and brown. Got them for
hmm
like $22, which is crazy.
Yeah, you can get
You can find some
steals.
steals. Yeah.
It's just the
There's
sizing, which is usually the problem.
yeah. And also some like I just like copy and paste from Google Translate to figure out what it says.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it though. Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
Like other than pickups, have you been like wearing outfits around the house, or like have you been dressing to keep yourself occupied or anything like that?
A little bit, not really, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like every once in a while, I'll like go throw on like the Issy or like my comb bomber or something like that, and just kind of like walk my dog and kind of have a fit.
Yeah.
And then like my neighbors kind of get scared, but you know, they're like, "Wow, it's like a big bomber," and I'm just like, "Oh darn." Well, but not like a lot. Like I've like copped a lot, and I just haven't
Hmm.
really worn it because it's just like, you know, There's no, I literally barely leave my house unless I go to like get food or walk my
Okay.
dog.
Yeah, me too.
Which is like a good, but whenever I go to Target, I get a fit off. So there we go.
Yeah, I just went to Target yesterday. I
Yeah.
actually wore pretty brick fit, but that's okay.
Hey, I've just been wearing, like when I wake up in the morning, I go walk my dog because I have to walk her pretty early. I always brick
Hmm.
the fit. Like I just like throw on cargos and like whatever shoes I can find, and then like a shirt that definitely doesn't match with it. And I'm like, all right, this is good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to just like put stuff on because it does like kind of make me feel good. Like just I don't know, I feel more
Hmm.
comfortable with myself if I have like something I like on my body. So I've been
Yeah.
trying to kind of put stuff on, like even if I'm just around the house or doing homework or something. I don't know, I just feel like a little bit of motivation if I actually have something that I like
Hmm.
on.
Totally. I get that 100%. And I'm just like, I don't know. I probably haven't been as motivated as I need to be in these past couple of
Hmm.
months. Like I've been working a lot on a lot of different projects, whether it's just
Anything
being
specific that you can talk about, or is that confidential?
um somewhat confidential because there's like
Okay,
some
cool.
things I'm working with other people who I can't really talk about
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like it's just like writing a lot of scripts, recording a lot because I don't know. I record and write a lot of scripts, but editing is always the hardest part for me
Okay.
because when you edit a video, you have to sit down for like 6 hours and go
Oh
through like the
yeah.
same footage.
I used to
And
make like music videos, and I'm actually in a like film and media academy at my school.
mhm,
So editing, I know how tough editing is.
yeah, that's all. And it's like it always feels like the least rewarding part to me personally
Yes.
because it's like you're not really creating anything. You're just kind of going over what you already did and just kind of trying to fix
Hmm.
it. And you like find all like the parts you don't like, and you're like, oh, do I have to re-record this?
Especially
So
editing a video that you've sat down in front of the camera for like hours, and you just get there and you sit down and you cut out the parts that you don't like, and
yeah,
it's there's nothing really that special about it.
no, and it's always hard for me whenever I'm doing like, for example, like an informational video because I have to go
Yeah.
find all the pictures, the looks, and it's just like a pain. So like I've done a lot of that. I've been painting, I've been reading, and then just collaborating with other people. But
Cool, cool.
yeah,
Somebody said Carson is releasing a streetwear brand.
maybe can't confirm nor
Really?
deny. Not
Mm.
really. I don't know if I would say I'm releasing a streetwear brand. I don't really know about that, but
They said screen printed Gildan's type beat.
nah, we not on that. We not on that.
I would hope so. And then somebody else said Malice Studios is coming out with a new collection soon. I love their winter stuff. Is that the one that Kyron is associated with?
I don't know Kyron well. It might be. I'm not really sure. I don't.
I swear I've heard him mention that.
Maybe
Hmm.
Karsten releasing a
I've
streetwear
heard
brand. That's funny.
it is cool that you're working on stuff though. I mean,
Hmm.
I've like okay, I'm definitely not at that point yet. Like I've kind of considered maybe doing it in the future, but I just don't think I don't think I really have the mind to like design stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I definitely like would like to produce maybe like a publication or something in the future,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, dude.
where that may go.
I don't know. Publications are cool. Like I do some writing. I've done some writing in the past.
Hmm.
And yeah, writing for about fashion or like kind of like doing the graphic design element of it is always really cool, and the photography.
Yeah,
So
isn't AO the Fashion Archive coming out with a magazine?
I believe he is, and so is Pam Boy, which is he's also doing a
Oh,
really interesting
really?
one. Yes.
Yeah, I just saw his video last night talking about like his Patreon that he's starting and how it's like funding his magazine project, which I
Everybody
think will be
is
really interesting.
everybody's starting a Patreon, and I don't really know if I have enough content to put out a Patreon.
I
But
definitely don't.
yeah, it's like
But I mean, ad literally nothing. It's literally like pocket change.
hmm. Yeah, but anyway, can't start the
Uh,
Patreon.
Somebody said, "Hey Carson, I see that you're into punk and stuff. What do you think about the Norwegian black metal scene of the late '80s and early '90s?"
Norwegian
Cannot say
black
much
metal
about that.
scene. Is that like Burzum? I think that's like Burzum.
Beats me.
I like some Norwegian black metal bands, and I like some black metal bands, definitely. Um, Somewhat have some edgy kind of like dark stuff going on with a lot of black metal, which I'm not always for because it can get like to the point. Like I think there was that one Norwegian black metal band, I think it's Burzum, where like the lead singer like killed a couple of people.
Oh,
So
damn.
like the music is
I'm not
good, but
familiar
like
with that, so that's new
yeah,
to me.
it's like it's like good music, but at the same time they kind of took it a little too far sometimes.
My friend Alex said, "Do you guys feel as if YouTube fashion brands have progressed? I feel as if it's definitely changed a lot, and that there's a lot more outlets now than just printed shirts and hoodies. I definitely like a few of the brands that are currently circulating. I like Staatsballett a lot. Like I genuinely like wearing their stuff. I
Hmm.
actually just have I have a shirt that's supposed to be coming in from them today, possibly while we're on this stream. But yeah, I really enjoy Staats. Uh, Only other one I'd really say I have been into in the past is Bare Knuckles.
Hmm.
Feel like a lot of people go through a Bare Knuckles phase right now. I
Yeah.
definitely did, but I enjoy that. But yeah,
I've
I feel like it's on and off.
I've honestly never copped anything from Me Too brand. I don't know why I haven't had because
It's
Stats
totally
has some cool
understandable.
stuff. Bare Knuckles also has cool stuff. Owen also has some cool stuff, but I've
Hmm.
just never copped from it, honestly. Don't really know why, but yeah, no, they actually do some sick stuff. I have to
Yeah,
say, like they do some really cool stuff sometimes.
yeah. Like the one thing I liked from Owen was those like black jeans with the red stripes on the side.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw those, but I liked it. And then
Yeah.
also like the whole ground cover thing. I just did a review on that.
Oh yeah.
I have the boots and like I've been wearing them pretty much whenever I go out just because I want to wear them as much as I possibly can. And I really have been enjoying them a lot.
Hmm.
I just think that whole thing was very cool.
Yeah.
Um, Bare Knuckles' recent release is a bit underwhelming. I agree with that. I didn't really like what the graphics that they came out with recently.
I didn't see the new Bare Knuckles release. Somebody sent something to me and they're like they were copying it off someone else and I was like, "Well, that's just a reference."
I think that happened. Yeah.
But like, brands can reference other,
Hmm.
brands or even like old vintage t-shirts. Like that's totally cool. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it's been happening forever.
So I don't really know what that was, but like everything else, like I honestly haven't looked into it.
They made like something with like a ranch. Kind of was like it was a little too cartoonish for my liking. I don't know.
Hmm.
I like their blank stuff that they come out with, just like the sweaters and the blank like vintage faded tees and stuff. But
Hmm.
I don't like a lot of the graphics that they put out, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of them, but I don't know. I don't know.
Somebody said, "What's your guy's favorite dinosaur?"
Stegosaurus.
I'd say um, Bliss Foster.
Bliss Foster. Bro, taking shots at Bliss. Oh my god.
Nah, that's the homie.
You and Bliss are gonna start a beef. I want to see it.
I hope not. List a few favorite brands. You go first.
Yang Lee, Comme des Garçons Homme, um, Yang Lee, Comme des Garçons Homme, Nora by Kani no Minya, Craig Green, Guidi is nice, Mason Margiela, Ralph
As
Simmons,
always.
Rick Owens.
Yeah,
That's probably it.
the list goes on.
The list goes on.
I like that because that's kind of touching into all the different kind of subgenres.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't really have like a favorite genre or like brand. I just like a
Agreed.
lot. I kind of go
I feel
piece
like
by piece.
I feel like too many people box themselves in by kind of only I am darkwear.
Hmm.
That's it. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks good. It looks good on a lot of people and it works for them, but I feel like I don't know. I'm not the type of person that's kind of just going to decide on one thing and only do that one thing.
Yeah, I
So like,
agree with you.
yeah, I really enjoy Helmet and a lot of the ones that you mentioned. To be honest, I've
Hmm.
really been looking into a lot of Craig lately too.
Craig is crazy. Craig's
Yeah,
a homie.
no joke. Yeah, Bare Knuckles came out with an $850 suede jacket, or they're coming out with one, which is pretty crazy. They're talking about that in the chat.
That's kind of expensive. But at the same time, suede is kind of an expensive material to work with. So
Yeah, for sure. But
But
yeah, their stuff goes for crazy amounts on Grailed. I don't know if you've seen like
no,
their
I haven't.
cardigans. Their cardigans, like I swear I saw one of them sell for like almost $1,000. Like,
Really?
yeah,
And how much was
it's
it
no joke.
retailing for?
Probably I think like 300.
That's kind of crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Shout
They're
out to Jacob Keller then.
yeah, they have a big kind of like cult following. Like I know some people that are like a group of friends that like are like bare knuckles friends,
Hmm.
which is cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's actually sick. I had no
Yeah.
idea that Bare Knuckles had that huge of a cult following. Like I've always seen their pieces and I've always been like interested, but not too interested. I don't know
Hmm.
why.
You guys should talk about your best or worst personal fashion related story.
Best or worst fashion
Hmm.
related story. Oh, I gotta think about this. You can go first. Um,
I have one in mind. Okay, so like kind of recently, actually, not really recently. It was like in the winter. I made like a pickups video, and I had this GIMP hoodie in it, and
mhm,
people came for me, dude. They like
mhm.
comment like simp 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 like for some reason. Then he was like Rick would be fucking disgusted, and I'm like,
Jeez.
bro, like I just wanted to try out a hoodie. Jesus.
Yo, that's the
So
internet for you. They are
yeah,
harsh, bro. That's okay. That's just you gotta like you
yeah,
can't control following ever, which is something you kind of
exactly.
learn. You can't control people, even though they're your audience. But I think the one that sticks out to me the most of like when I finally like for a while my grail was like the undercover Borman's parka, if you're
Hmm.
familiar with that. And I got that when I was around like 16, 17 or something like that because I'd saved
Okay.
up for a long time, copped it. And then me and Ezra, like I would wear it a lot and I wore it to the Mall of America. And
Uh-oh.
in that one day, like it was a fire parka. But in that day, like I got like the two polar opposites of like people reacting to it. Because at one point, this one dude came up to me, like he like went out of his way. He's like, "Bro, that parka's fire. Where did you get it?" I was like, "It's undercover." And he's like, "Dude, like, yo, I love undercover." And he started like talking to me, and it was like a cool thing, like because he was like he liked the parka. And
Yeah.
then I was also walking in like the Borman's parka, and then some dude looked at me and called me a slur for gay people. So
Oh damn.
you get the two
Dude,
dichotomies there,
yeah, that
so
happens like that word is tossed around a lot like where I live.
oh yeah,
It's just
it's
like
a
okay,
Midwest thing.
oh, for sure. Yeah, like I'll even at school, like I wouldn't even be wearing anything crazy. Like one time I wore Dickies 874s to school
Hmm.
and people were like, "Dude, why are you wearing dress pants to school? Like it's just a normal day. Why are you wearing dress pants?" I'm like, I don't
Yo,
know what to tell you about that one.
yeah, dude. Oh man, I usually don't get anything like that, but like yeah, I don't know. I'm usually fine, but
There's no type of like okay, where I live there's no type of fashion community or like sense of style. I don't know about you, but like at my school, I'm kind of like almost like ridiculed for even like having a YouTube channel.
yeah, I can imagine that. Like I don't know. I never was like when I was in high school, like it was never like really like a big, like I never had a YouTube channel or anything like that when I
Hmm.
was your age. But like like me, Tommy, and Ezra all went to the same school and we were all into fashion.
Yeah, he was talking about that in the last stream. We had Tommy on in like the podcast, and he was
And
saying that you guys went to the same school.
yeah, pretty much it was kind of weird because like we were all in the fashion, so we all kind of had each other in
Hmm.
a way. And like
That's cool.
it was really weird because like when we all first like met each other, we were like not into the stuff we are now.
Hmm.
We all kind of like challenged each other and made ourselves like grow. Because like when I first met Ezra, like literally the way I met Ezra was he complimented me on like because I was like wearing like Balmain biker jeans or something like that,
Okay.
like the stuff from Zara. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Yo, bro, those are fire biker jeans," and I was like, "Yo, that's like those are some sick zipper denim, dude," and like that's how we met. And then Tommy was like wearing like Supreme at the time, and he's like a skater boy, and then
Hmm.
we all kind of met. But and then we all
Dude,
kind of
that's
like
cool.
got into like other stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, there's not like that would be nice to have kind of like a group of friends to kind of push each other like that. Because I mean, I love my friends obviously, but like
Hmm.
I don't have much in common with them. So sometimes it's like,
Yeah, like
But
I totally get that, but that's kind of
Tommy
a cool thing too.
Tommy added me and a bunch of other people to a group chat in like October or November, sometime around then. And they've honestly become like some of my like best friends over the internet. It's
Hmm.
pretty dope. Shout out to that chat.
That's the thing about fashion is you can meet like a lot of cool people through it who can become really good friends. So
Yeah.
that's what I like about fashion. One of the things I like about the community. But yeah.
You have to have a lot of confidence in order to have a YouTube channel to express yourself and show many people your hobbies and passions. Yeah,
Yeah, somewhat. It's like, yeah, you do. It's like a pretty weird thing to do is to project your life to
right.
other
Yeah.
people on a screen and
Hmm.
encourage them to watch aspects of your life. It's like a very odd thing if you look at it from a
Yeah, like
very wide point of view.
I've been making videos since like 8th grade on
Hmm.
this channel, and uh, dude, my old stuff is so impossible for me to watch now. So I've just started like private all my old
Yeah.
videos because I don't know. It's just like I look back at that stuff and I'm like, that's not me right now. So I don't
No,
really want to like put that out there still.
but the other thing is like you could remove it or you don't have to because like it also shows people growth. Because
That
the
is
thing that
true. Yeah.
like I always struggle with is that like I don't have any pictures of me when I was like first getting into fashion. Like I
Hmm.
just never was into fit pick culture until like maybe a year or two ago because like
Okay.
people were like telling me like, oh, you got to do this because like your Instagram's popping and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So like you don't ever see pictures of me like when I was wearing like stuff that we consider hype now, but like when I was wearing like Supreme or like even Balenciaga and stuff like that, like
Hmm.
Prada and stuff like that. Like when I was wearing more of just different styles, like you kind of only see me in one somewhat style, like if everywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
And like people are always like, how did you do this? Like, how did you get all these clothes? And it's like, well, you can't see that for like when the first 2 or 3 years when I was into fashion, like I was wearing like a couple of Supreme tees, like vintage thrifted
Hmm.
stuff, you know, band tees, stuff like that. And I didn't have as many clothes. And then it grew a lot. And I was into hype stuff, but you can't see that progression because I didn't do it. And so it like kind of creates like a false sense of who I am in a way
Yeah.
because
I
it's not the
mean,
full picture. But like at the same time, you know, it's
I
what
still
you're
personally
comfortable with.
have a lot of that stuff up on this channel. Like
Mm-hmm.
even I have like how to lace your Yeezys. Dude, that video, okay, I made a how to lace your Yeezys video in 8th grade and
Fire.
it got like 750,000 views.
That's an insane amount of views, dude.
Dude, when I was in 8th grade, I was like, whoa, I'm gonna be a huge sneaker YouTuber now. And
Yeah.
then
Well,
I like stopped uploading for a year.
the thing is that like it's I if I were you, I'd keep those videos up and you don't have to listen to me about this. I'm just saying my perspective is that shows kids who are just getting into this stuff that, oh, I can
Hmm.
go from this to this.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to see the change in people and how people change their style on the
Hmm.
internet. And it's important to kind of, I think, to show the younger audience like, yo, like nobody just starts out with this stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's something you gotta grow and you gotta kind of discover for yourself and you can kind of see a journey. I think that's cool personally.
Yeah. Somebody said, if you look at Gear Toward Gear channel, you can see the growth in Avery. That's definitely true. Like,
Yeah, and he deleted a lot of his stuff too.
oh yeah, for sure. And it's kind of weird how all those people have stopped uploading. You guys touched on this in the last one too, but like
Hmm.
all the people that got me into fashion now are pretty much like doing
Gone.
other things.
Yeah, like Avery, yeah, and they just all are kind of like moved on. Like Fernando went to Silver League, which is cool. Jacob still somewhat uploads every once in a
Oh yeah.
while. Sanjeev, I think he sort of uploads. I don't really know. Magnus is kind of not really
Hmm.
doing anything. But yeah, Avery stopped too, which is, and he had probably the most growth out of any of them, maybe
Hmm.
him or
Yeah.
Fernando, because
Especially
Avery,
for how like actually like fashion based his content was like nothing. It was super like towards the end it was super niche, like the whole comb universe and stuff, like, and
yeah.
not a lot of people are gonna like look up the Comme des Garçons universe,
Hmm.
but he still somehow managed to get a lot of that growth.
Well, like when he was starting off, he was like, I don't, he, these videos aren't up anymore and I barely remember them
Hmm.
because, but he was like painting people, like showing people how to like paint Galaxy vans and like being like, oh, I
Hmm.
just picked up the Supreme. And then it went from like that in like 2 or 3 years to um, like certain like niche, like Martine Rose and Emila Meester, Yang Lee
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it was like, whoa, this is a huge change, but it was
Hmm.
really cool. So,
Yeah. I mean, I would hope to someday like stop YouTube and kind of go on to other ventures
mhm.
with that audience that you've built up.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if
You're already
I don't
kind of
really,
starting to. Like, I mean, you're not going to stop, but like you've already started to go into other things too.
I have, yeah, and I've always, that's just something always I've done. That's the reason I can't upload as quickly as I'd want. Is like I'm always working on XYZ, whatever it
Hmm.
is. Like it could
That's a
be,
good thing, though. That's definitely a good thing.
yeah, like during the year, like I didn't upload as much as I am
Hmm.
like currently now, sort of, because I was like working with companies on like marketing and I, was trying to get multiple streams of income coming in.
Hmm. Cool.
Because like a lot of the ways like I can afford most of this stuff is because it's like, yo, I have this job, I do consulting for this company and
Hmm.
I do promotions and so it's like, it's just always having multiple streams, multiple creative outlets for me, whether
So
it be
you
like,
do, so you do marketing.
yeah,
What
I
like
do
what specifically are you in?
just marketing for like any companies, mostly social
Cool.
media. Stuff like that. I do some data analytics for some companies too. Like it's like really weird things. Like it's like sometimes like my professors will like I'll talk to my professors in like my business courses and I'll be like, yeah, I do a lot of social media marketing. You should check out like some of the work I do. And I like to
Yeah.
kind of keep what brands and companies I'm doing private because obviously like I'm working for them and they expect things to be professional. And
Yeah. Of
my
course.
audience may not be able to keep it professional if I say, hey, I'm working for this company. It may or may not be fashion based. Sometimes they're not. But
Yeah. That's a
then all
good
of a
point.
sudden you have your whole audience like going to that company and
Yeah.
harassing me like, yo, what's up, Karsten? Like that would be a nightmare for me. So I don't say what companies I'm working on, but yeah, I help some companies do some marketing, mostly on social media.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm still in high school, so not a lot of places like that would take somebody my age very seriously. But
Well, I
I
think
don't know.
like, I don't know, you can always start looking for internships now.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
like when I was in high school, I definitely wasn't doing as much of that stuff. But I did have an internship, like a marketing internship when I
Mhm.
was in high school, which was
Like
really helpful.
in that film academy, I mean, like you can get internships at like production companies or like
Hmm.
sports teams to do like the billboards or whatever,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not something that I'm definitely interested in, but
Hmm.
getting some kind of experience is still cool.
I mean, I think the thing is that no matter what, if you have the experience, it doesn't have to be in something you love. That's always important, and that's always
Hmm.
a skill. Like for me, let's like one of the things I worked on marketing was for the first when I first worked for marketing was like with a headhunting recruiting agency. Like it's kind of like a
Okay.
firm, pretty much like
Hmm.
that. Like helps people find jobs pretty much is like the short way
Yeah.
of saying it. And like definitely like doing like their advertising and stuff like that, helping them with graphic design and like helping them reach out. And like when I first went into that, I thought, wow, I'm never gonna like use this.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
this is but now like when I look back, it's like I have done like I learned so much from that experience, even though it's not something I'm interested in.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a
So
good point. I mean, okay, like as of if you were talking to me a year ago, I would say like fashion was not like second on the list for me, and then I was really into like film and
mhm,
producing videos and stuff because I would do music videos like I said for local artists around here. So I thought that was like what I was going
mhm.
to run with. And then
Yeah.
that whole thing just I don't know, I just kind of lost interest in that, and I started picking up this stuff a lot more and kind of just diving headfirst into it, and ever since I've kind of just been falling
Mhm.
deeper and deeper into it.
I mean, it's a hole down to go down to,
It really is. Oh my god, dude, like looking back at a year ago compared to now is like way different. And
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's
like some people would be like ashamed of it, like, oh, I used to be into that stuff. But I don't know. It's kind of it does show your growth, like you just said before.
And it's natural too. Like
Hmm.
everybody goes through it. Like it's like, yo, it's not a big deal. And some people like stay at certain points and like don't go farther than like,
Yeah.
and that's cool. Like honestly, like people have to dress with what they're comfortable with, what their environment
Hmm.
is, who they are. Like just because like I like make fun of a certain brand or
Yeah.
something doesn't mean I'm not gonna like treat that person with the same respect as I would someone who would wear a different brand, you know?
Yeah.
And I
I
think
feel like a lot of
everybody,
people. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people mistake like poking fun as disrespect.
yeah, a lot. Like literally, like a couple of days ago, somebody like was like, "Why you disrespecting V-Lone?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't care. Like you can wear V-Lone." And then like he sent me some rude things that I can't say on live, but
Okay.
that's just how it is. Yeah, people take things personally because with the internet, it's somewhat, especially when it's like memes, it's kind of hard to sometimes tell tone from them,
Oh
whether
yeah.
it be sarcastic or not, if you're not really in deep and really thinking about it and looking.
There and I definitely feel like a lot of the time when people say stuff like that, it's because they have something else going on. So like I kind of try to be understanding in a way.
Yeah.
I, it's hard to sometimes do that, but like if you think about, I don't know, if you were having a really bad day and you just needed to take it out some way, I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
take it out on you. It's like
Yeah.
all the time, like straight up, like people, like I've had people take it out on me. And every once in a while, I'll DM them. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? Why are you like hitting on me?
Yeah.
And then like they'll like send me like 40 messages and I'll like send them a couple of back. And then it like comes out and it's like, okay, this person is dealing with this
hmm
kind of stuff. And you're like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever. Like it's not my business and it's fine that they took it out on me. Like,
hmm Yeah. The internet is very strange, especially right now.
yeah, with everybody being quarantined, it's really,
Yeah.
yeah.
They've started to bring the whole Ian Connor thing to light again, the whole 21
Yeah.
thing.
21 Savage. Yep. And Connor 21. I don't know how that turned up as a meme, but that was fun to see.
I don't know. It's still going too.
Yeah, no, that's a new meme. I don't know if I'll personally participate in that meme because I know that's such like a sensitive subject
Hmm.
and for a lot of people. And I used to meme a lot about like on Ian Connor about that personal subject. And a lot of those memes I decided to take down later just
Yeah.
because like I'd look through the comments and most people would be like, this is funny. And like other people would be like, this is important. And then some people would be like, should you really be joking about this? And I think like it's really funny to joke about it, but I don't know if I'm going to do it publicly anymore. Like
Yeah.
definitely I
Yeah.
think it's hilarious that people are doing this and I love it, but I don't want to be like the ringleader of it personally, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, yeah, it's like even like in my group chats, like I said, they're like, what's wrong with Ian Connor? Like some dude didn't know what was like so bad about Ian Connor. And then I
Mhm.
like sent them the memes and stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't know how I feel about him now.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. He's like, and there's a lot of problematic people like in like
Hmm.
music or hip hop or fashion. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, it's interesting when like I like even if somebody's like, yo, I still like Ian Connor after that, like I'm kind of like, all right, whatever, as long as you know all the information and you're an adult and you can
Hmm.
make that decision, like I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with you. You can do that. Like
Yeah.
because like for example, like I listen to Morrissey and I love his music so much. And he straight up said some really whack things in the past. Like he said, like, like if you're not vegan, like you're a
Yeah.
subhuman and
I
stuff like
remember that.
that. And so like, I can make that decision to listen to him
Hmm.
and like his music, like his art, but separate who he is from his art.
Hmm.
And like I choose not to like ever consume anything in a way that's financially supporting him.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's up to other people if they like Ian Connor's designs. I personally don't, but if they want to consume his stuff, that's up to them.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
adults.
like the last Pokemon collection. Oh, my bad. The dogs are barking. My last
You're good.
Pokemon, his last Pokemon collection with $325 t-shirts with Mew on them was, I don't know.
It
That was just
was
a meme in itself.
it was a meme in itself. Like I saw that and I was like, I don't need to make a meme about this, people.
There's no point. It
There's
literally just speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's weird, but he does him. I
Yep.
can't hate too hard, I guess.
Somebody said always separate the art from the artist. In
Yeah,
some cases, yeah.
in most cases, yeah. separate the art from the artist. But then when I would say is when you're going to consume and make a purchase decision to support that artist, for
Mm,
example, like you can admire, like, for example, some problematic artists would be like XXXTentacion, Morrissey.
yeah.
Those are music artists. And you can like listen to their music and still say, wow, this is really good. But then like, would you say, well, do I want to buy a t-shirt from one of these guys? And
Yeah.
for sure give them money. That's where it becomes like a judgment call, I'd say.
Yeah. Like I had a friend wearing a V-Lone shirt, and I was like sitting with him at lunch and showing him the video of the bad things he did. And he was like, yeah, but that's the only thing you have against him. You don't have anything else against him. I'm like, I really need more. Shout out to
Yeah.
Jose if you're watching this, but that was
Yeah.
pretty absurd.
Straight up, like the whole V-Lone thing is really funny because like, yeah, V-Lone is just like not a great brand.
Hmm.
In my opinion, I don't think I've liked any piece they've ever put out. And then
Yeah.
I've seen the videos and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't really. So I like meme on it a lot. But like if
Yeah.
somebody's wearing V-Lone, it's like, I don't care.
Rightfully, you
Like
meme on it a lot.
if you do wear V-Lone, like I'm not gonna disrespect you. I hope you know everything about the brand and I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
you about it. Like, yo, do you know this about this? Like, because I want to make sure you know and you're comfortable with what you're supporting and what you're repping because you're literally wearing that on your shirt. Like you're saying, I
Yeah.
support this brand. So do you
Mhm.
know everything you're supporting?
Yeah.
And
Especially a brand like that with just huge V. You
just a
instantly
big
know what it
V,
is.
big V. It's like, oh, straight up, that's V-Lone. Like people, it's become more recognizable as a brand and
Yeah.
maybe even more iconic in like the past couple of years than it used to be.
Yeah. I saw that
So
meme that you did the Rick jacket with the V on the back, and
yeah,
it made me
yeah,
chuckle.
yeah. That was a fun one. That was a good one.
Somebody said, I mean, you can buy secondhand just to not support. I guess, but just by wearing it on your body, I don't know.
You're doing
There's
free
something symbolic in
advertising.
that.
You're doing
Yeah.
free advertising. You that's correct. You're not supporting the artist, but I don't want to say like it's wearing a big V. Like I know some of their jeans and stuff like that you could say is a little more artsy and a little more creative.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there are other alternatives. But if
Hmm.
that's really what you want to do, you're an adult. You can make that decision.
Yeah, for real.
I may not agree with you, but I'm gonna respect you at the end of the day, no matter what.
Yeah. People are talking in the chat. What's your guys' thoughts on ethical clothing? I mean, I don't really think you can say you dislike ethical clothing because
No.
that's one of the things I look for. Obviously, I'm not going
Hmm.
to buy like an H&M shirt or
No,
anything like
like,
that.
yeah, I'm definitely for ethical clothing. I think it's important. It can be hard to find 100% ethical clothing. That's something I've learned in the past couple of months is
Mm,
that like, yo, what does count as ethical clothing and what does not? And it's not like there's a
yeah.
line like, yes, this is ethical. No, this is not. It's like a big spectrum is kind of the
Hmm.
thing I've been finding out more and more because I've done like a lot of papers on it actually. And when I first kind of started out, I was like, yo, things are either ethical or they're not ethical.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that simple because it's like straight up, you can have something that's like ethically produced, like it's made in a good factory, the people
Hmm.
doing it aren't polluting, but it could be made of a certain material like polyester. And just because it's made out of that material,
Yeah.
even if all the workers are getting paid right, even if you know they're not polluting any of the waste, just it being polyester and of that nature, when someone's done with it, it's not going to disintegrate or it can't be destroyed for hundreds of years naturally.
Yeah.
Or for example, a lot of people like to throw out like, yo, fur is, you can't wear fur, so let's wear faux
Yeah.
fur. And faux fur is terrible for
Is
the
also,
environment.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
Like
know.
the whole hamster fur thing.
Yes, that was funny. Because like for real, like fur is actually, it's like made of an animal and animals just go back to nature and faux fur does not go back to nature. And
Yeah.
so the thing I would say is that like ethical clothing is a spectrum. And especially like if you're looking to produce clothes, I think one of my mistakes in the past is I said, don't ever produce your own clothes because it could be unethical. And I made that meme and I somewhat mean that, but at the same time, I think I've learned that it's very hard for anybody who wants to be creative to create something that is 100% ethical.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like a problem with that as well is a lot of brands kind of use the word sustainability or ethical as
Yeah.
like a cash grab to
Hmm.
kind of garner support from a lot of people who like will only buy sustainable clothing.
Yeah.
And like even if they're not like you said, they could be on one end of the spectrum or one the other end of the spectrum,
Hmm.
but they use the word like sustainability, like, hey, we're sustainable, hey, we're not harming the environment, we pay our workers, just
Yeah.
to like kind of just to get the support, and might be like a lie
Yeah,
a
it's a
lot of times.
buzzword. People say it, and sometimes it means they're like a little bit ethical, or they're ethical in one way, and it's just a buzzword at the end of the day,
Mhm.
which is unfortunate because I think, helping the planet is actually important. And I've
Yeah,
written
it is.
papers on this, obviously. I've studied for hours about this. And, the truth at the end of the day is like a lot of brands or companies or influencers like to say, hey, like we're ethical and like we've
Hmm.
done it, we're changing the world. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. It comes down to huge supply lines. Like it depends on where denim is being produced. Like you can say, yeah, our denim is like has none of these chemicals being used or this, but just like the nature of, for example, denims being in certain places where like the actual material can be grown for denim,
Hmm.
it can pollute rivers because, like, for example, in Vietnam, denim isn't really produced in a good place, and it can pollute rivers just because of the nature of the plant that denim comes from
Oh, okay.
being in that environment. So it's really complicated, and it's something that is gonna be something we actually have to fight, and it's a challenge. But at the same time, like it's a spectrum, and
Yeah.
everybody's got to try their hardest. But sometimes, I think, especially for smaller brands, you know, making it out like it's definitely hard. So props to Avery for what he's doing because he
Yeah,
is
I agree.
going crazy at that, like as especially someone who's just starting out.
And like with shots, it's kind of like they don't really push push themselves as a sustainable brand. But they did, but like with the ground cover stuff, they definitely pushed the idea of sustainability, which I don't think is a bad thing because they were super transparent with what they did with it.
Hmm.
But with shots, I feel like they sometimes try to just like treat it as a part of their brand rather than like a advertising concept.
Yeah, it definitely, Avery's really passionate about that from what I
Hmm.
know and from what I've heard, even like, beyond the marketing and beyond, like that's something he is extremely passionate about. So I think I think that's definitely the identity of the brand. And so, and with Kaylee as well, because she is also the one who started Stats with Avery. It's
Hmm.
their brand together.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Avery was like, why the fuck would I make something if it's not like good, like something we like really believe in, which
Hmm.
is something that like I think was pretty cool to say.
Yeah,
Pretty
definitely.
hits the nail right on the head.
Exactly. And it's all about artistic integrity at the end of the day. So,
Did you see the H&M sustainable collection? See, that's what I'm talking about with the like marketing ploy.
yeah, no, I haven't. And I'm gonna guess it's not. It might be on
Yeah.
the spectrum, I don't know, of like a little higher than normal, but like, yeah, like it's a buzzword. It's a marketing ploy. People are using it to
Hmm.
generate revenue at the end of the day by switching up one or two of their processes instead of
Yeah.
sometimes what has to happen is the entire process. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Like back to the whole ground cover thing, like even the box, they like made it so that the box, there was only one box, there's no shoe box. And like the box was like the perfect dimension so that they didn't have to use like extra cardboard to like
hmm
leave space, which I think was pretty cool.
and that's
Somebody
like
said,
insane attention to detail. So props
yeah,
to them for
for
that.
real. Somebody said, Carson, do you like Giles Corey?
Yeah, I like Giles Corey a lot. So if you haven't ever listened to them, they're like
I have not.
they're interesting. They're kind of, if you like Aphex and stuff like that, you might like
Hmm.
them. They're kind of like a
Okay.
slower acoustic mix of like, I think an easy way to say it is like Bon Iver mixed with Aphex Twin, but it's a
Hmm.
little darker, like the subject matter, I'd say.
Sounds
But it's
interesting.
very good, very good. Big fan of Giles Corey by the
Cool.
man Dan Barrett of Have a Nice Life. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah, Have a Nice Life. If you ever heard of them,
Yeah,
it's
I
the
have.
same
My dad
guy.
actually listens to that with me.
Really, that's
Yeah.
fire. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Have a
Yeah.
Nice Life.
My
Hmm.
dad's been taking me to like punk concerts and stuff since I was like 8 years old.
That's
So
so
kind of
sick.
I like. Do you know what Riot Fest is in Chicago?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's just like a rock festival, and
Mhm.
I've been going for like since I was 8 years old. That was like my first concert. It was
That's
really cool.
awesome.
I saw
But
Taking Back Sunday. I don't know if you know who that is.
yes, I do. That's like
Yeah,
it's like early punk. That's like not
yeah.
early punk, but
Early,
like early pop
like
punk
yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun. But yeah, Have a Nice Life and Giles Corey are the same person.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's
I was
cool.
not aware of that.
Yeah.
Um, Somebody said time will tell how the boots hold up, but after 2 years going into that venture, Avery probably made this boot to last through everything. I mean, yeah, like I said, only time will tell. I even said that in the review. Like, you never can really know how long it's gonna last, but
Yeah. I don't know anything about it, but one thing I would say is that I'm skeptical of how it would hold up over the years. I don't
yeah,
have it in hand. I've never seen it, but just in the fact that it's not leather, I'm somewhat skeptical. But
hmm
I don't mean to be like a jerk about that. I'm just curious. I really don't know.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's totally understandable.
Hmm.
People are talking about their first concerts. My first concert was Slayer, Iron Maiden,
Yo,
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
that's fire.
And
I'm trying to remember what was my first concert. I think it was like a metal band. I'm trying to remember. Was it like Megadeth or something? I don't know.
oh really?
Yeah, my dad took me. Or it was either that or Rush,
Hmm.
if you're familiar with Rush. And that was like when I was really young.
Yeah,
But
like I definitely will say that concerts are one of the things I miss the most because I had tickets to like 6 concerts like
mm,
this whole summer, and all of them are either canceled or postponed. Like
yeah.
I had Rage Against the Machine on that list, which is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, dude. I've always been into concerts, so when like this has
Yeah.
happened, it's been hard because I like used to go to house shows all the time in
Oh
Minneapolis
really?
and stuff like that. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
used
that's
to go
huge in
to
Chicago.
house shows. Yeah, they're big.
Hmm.
And Chicago is a pretty good scene. So I was like pretty involved in like the local like indie like alternative emo scene in Minnesota when I lived here.
Cool.
And yeah, that was always like something huge for me. So this has been pretty, I don't know, like that's what I would usually go and do on a Friday night, is go to a
Hmm.
house show. And now it's kind of like, I don't do that anymore. So
Yeah. Somebody said, "What do you think will be the next musical genre to inspire fashion?" We've seen punk, of course, and hip hop and streetwear.
probably like industrial music or no wave, I think.
I honestly, dude, I don't know.
Um, so it's kind of like, like the Swans, stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's stuff like that, I would say, where like you have all these people who are like interested in that kind of stuff, also interested in fashion. Like Yang Lee did collaborations with like Swans, Jesus and the Mary Chain, and stuff like that. And while that's sort of punk, I guess, like people could make an argument, like it's definitely like a different thing than like Joy Division or New Order
Hmm.
or like
Yeah.
Bauhaus, where it's like a very different aesthetic. It's from a very different time. And I could see that affecting fashion in the next
Hmm.
couple of years. I'm not really sure though. Also,
Someone
like
said
hyper
K-pop.
pop, K-pop, somewhat. I think hyper
Yeah.
pop will though, like 100 Gex.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
definitely.
I
I
don't know
think
if
that's
I.
already kind of forming.
Yeah, it really is because like I know people who are working with like 100 Gex and stuff like that who
Oh,
are like
really?
fashion people and they're like styling them and like other like hyper pop artists as well. Like I'm trying to think who else like Charlie XCX and stuff like that.
Dude, have you listened to the new album from her?
Charlie XCX,
Yeah,
was it, which one? Did she
the
really?
brand new one, like last week.
No, I haven't listened to
The week
that
before.
one.
I really like it.
Is it good?
I've been listening to that. Yeah, very
Interesting.
enjoyable.
I'll check
Just,
it out. I will check it out.
are there any Swedish punk bands that you like personally? I like Swedish punk mostly because I'm from Sweden.
Swedish punk bands. Oh
I'm not
man.
familiar with any.
Wait, who? Yeah, I don't know any, to be quite honest, even though I am Swedish, which is interesting.
Hmm,
Um,
fun
but
fact.
fun fact, yes, my like grandparents are from there. But yeah, I don't know any Swedish punk bands. I definitely know Swedish rappers like Blade and White
Yeah.
Armor and Young Lean and all them, but Drain Gang. But no, not really any Swedish punk bands.
Somebody said TikTok invading the Drain Club. Oh,
Is it
God.
really?
Dude, okay, I deleted it like maybe 3 weeks ago, but
Mhm.
it really was like I was starting to see a lot of Blade on there. Like
Oh,
I know
that's-
Connor made some Blade stuff on TikTok, right?
Yeah, he did. He made a lot. He made a
Yeah.
lot of funny. Connor's TikTok is interesting.
I haven't
It's-
seen it in a while, but I saw the one where he was like, Drain Gang, never have I ever. Which
Oh,
is pretty
yeah.
funny.
Because Connor like is just really anti-humor in a way. Like he just takes everything
Yeah.
you're supposed to do with TikTok and flips it on his head, so it's somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. I don't like TikTok, to be honest. It's
No, I
too-
don't either. Dude, I like sometimes it's just brain numbing, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't reward creativity in my mind.
Oh, definitely. I think they think it does, but it really doesn't.
Well, it's like learning how to like edit on TikTok is not like the same as any other program, really.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
it's just
definitely
weird,
not.
and it's like it doesn't like it also only rewards like stupid humor, which is like fun,
Very stupid.
which is okay, like to have stupid humor. Like I think stupid humor definitely has like a place. Like mindless humor is probably a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like, but there's not a lot of clever humor on there, or like anything besides humor at all on there. And
Yeah.
so it's just kind of like puts you in a place where it's like it doesn't like the algorithm doesn't really work well for in my opinion. Like it works very easily to get someone to blow up like stupid easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But there's not like a lot that really interests me on there, to be quite honest.
I don't think it's going to be I don't think it has longevity at all.
I don't know, because that's what everybody said about Instagram, but
yeah,
you never know. Like it could be like another Vine or something. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Do you ever think there will be a new Antwerp 6?
That's a weird question. Like
Yeah.
that's a very specific question. As in any cool designers coming from Belgium? Probably. Yeah. I don't know,
Maybe
but
he
like
means like as like a whole group. I don't know.
like a collective of individuals who all like are like designing together. Probably. I don't know. That's definitely possible. Like to have like a couple of designers all collaborate with each other and go and show their shows, and like that's possible. Maybe.
Somebody said TikTok is unironically spyware.
Yeah. That's the other thing is that it has
there's
some
that whole thing
interesting
about
privacy issues.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Hey, I'm not on it anymore, so
I don't like it. I don't believe in it.
Okay, so I have something that I wanted to talk about. So
Yeah.
like brands like Saint Laurent and Gucci have like been switching their calendar to get rid of the whole seasonal thing. Do you think like other brands will follow from that? Because already first it was Saint Laurent and then it's Gucci. So those are two really big ones. And do you think it'll trickle down?
We'll have to see if all of LVMH does it, because that's the other huge one. But I think like, yeah, they're gonna for sure cut down. But I think like a lot of people are like they're doing this because we asked for it, and I don't think it really is. I think they're doing it because they know that the economy isn't doing so well. So the fashion industry has to adapt. Like they don't have a reason to show. They can't show like resort and like pre-fall and pre-winter because nobody's going to consume it as much. And it's not like I think a lot of people are treating it like a win, as in like we did it, like because a lot of people asked for this, but I don't think they're doing it because people asked. I think they're doing it because they need to save money, and they don't think they're going to be able to consume. People are going to consume that. Another example of like the fashion industry adapting is Black by Comme des Garçons is back again.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, which is really interesting because that was made in 2008 to like combat the recession and people not buying Comme. And so they relaunched it now, which is
that makes sense.
Which is like when you see it, you're like, oh, sick, cheap Comme. And then you're also like,
right.
oh no, this is a sign of bad economic impacts for like the future. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. But
but I definitely think it's good that it's gonna, I mean, it's kind of like biting us in the ass with the overconsumption.
Yeah,
fashion.
It really is. So it's good that they're cutting down. I don't know. The fashion industry isn't that wholesome and I don't think they're
Mm-mm.
doing it because they really care. But I think it's good that it happened. Either way, it's
Yeah.
kind of like celebrate your victory, even if it's not like a complete
Even if it's
victory.
not the way you wanted it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are talking about the whole Antwerp Six thing. The new Antwerp Six, as in just like the best up and coming designers, is Kiko, Craig, Hyder, Yang Lee, Martine Rose, and Hamkis.
You could say that to a degree because I
Few of
think
those, yeah.
all of those guys are out of London too.
Yeah, that's
Kiko,
what people said.
Craig.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out of CSM.
Yeah. So that's definitely valid. I was kind of thinking, yeah, no, that's definitely valid. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that works.
Somebody asked what comics you're into and what's your favorite superhero.
Me?
Yeah, because you said you mentioned that in the TFA stream.
Geez. I used to read like a lot of like Watchmen was one of my favorites. I used to read like pretty dark graphic novels as a kid, and I think it affected me a little bit. But I would like read like Watchmen, like the Killing Joke storyline. A lot of like Alan Moore stuff I really liked. As well as like there's this like comic book called Mouse, which was like spelled Maus. And it was kind of like
Okay.
a take on the Holocaust from like a graphic design artist. And
Hmm.
then I'm trying to think, what was the other one I really liked that I used to read? Here, give me a sec. It was like a shoot. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
My dad's actually commenting. He said Preacher is the best comic he ever read, and he said Mouse.
Yes, Preacher. I've never wait, but yeah, those are. I don't know. I'm not gonna find the other ones I used to read, but a lot of Dark Horse too. Dark Horse
Someone
was
said
cool.
Captain Underpants.
Yo, that's fire though. That I used to read that like when I was like a
Me
long time
too.
ago. That
Oh
was
my
fire.
god, I forgot that
Diary of a Wimpy
existed.
Kid is cool too because they
Yeah.
also have good meme templates.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
um, what do you think of DIY fashion? Like she said, personally, I do knitting, crocheting, and painting on fabrics.
I think it's cool. Like
I
I've
think
done.
if it's done tastefully,
Yeah,
it's hard to do that tastefully though.
it's hard to do. I don't know if it's hard. Well, yeah, I think it is hard to do tastefully.
Maybe it's just rare to see it done tastefully
Yeah, and I think that's a
now.
lot of like you have to have some guidance with it. I think like I've done some DIY stuff recently, and I have like a video coming out where I'm like, oh, I did this, but
Mm,
it was. I think it's done in a different way than a lot of people do it because like for me, I was like screen printing on a jacket. A lot of people
yeah,
don't do that. They're like, yo, I'm gonna go get some flannels from the thrift store and turn them into a needles cardigan or
yeah,
a needles flannel. And it's like you're like, wow, this is the 100th one I've seen of these. But I don't know. Like I think it's cool that people make custom clothes, especially when they're like used and they're from a
yeah.
thrift store. They're not gonna get used anyway. And it's like a lot of times it's not done tastefully, which is fine.
I feel like that's another thing with TikTok. Like it's created a whole new platform to make clothes like that.
Oh, yeah, like the screen
Uh,
printing like of like Balenciaga logos on like random t-shirts and
just the
stuff.
huge like square that says like Balenciaga with a Doberman growling.
Yes, or like Billie Eilish or something on
Yes.
there
Oh
and you're
my
like
god, dude.
and you just and they like use like the little screen printing thing where they like iron it on and you're like, what on earth is going on? Who let these kids
Yeah.
do this?
And also like
Where's your mom?
just like people will paint like just like words all over denim, which I think is kind of weird.
Yeah, I kind of get where they're coming from. I think they're trying to
Yeah.
reference Gucci or something like that, but like it's like whatever. I don't know. People teach their own. Like I don't think like I hope those people know like that's not what fashion is all about. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like you got to start somewhere. So,
I
you
actually
know,
saw a pretty funny one on Grilled a long time ago. It said disregard females obtain
acquire
currency.
currency. Dude, you got to send that to me. That's
I
hilarious.
did. I literally sent it to your meme account in October.
Oh, dang. I did not see. I'm sorry. I get like a
No, it's
lot
all
of
good.
DMs every day. It's like a
Nah, yeah, I remember. I literally just remembered that. I just went back and looked at that.
dang. Oh, that's good. That's funny.
Do you think there's a lack of female content creators in the realm of high fashion or in the realm of audience that you pertain to? I think they're out there. I've seen the Fashion Archive actually made a video about some really good ones that
There's
are
a
interesting.
the thing is that fashion, I think a lot of people don't realize this, is it's still like a mainly dominated by women.
Yeah.
We just don't tap into it, most of us, because it's almost like a parallel channel in a way. Like it's like
Hmm.
there's two channels and they're going parallel to each other. And there's a lot of like fashion YouTubers, for example, who are female. Like it's just that I think a lot of us are so deep into this certain culture that we don't see a lot of that,
Hmm.
and we don't really pay attention to it. And I think what made me realize that was like a couple of days ago, I was like looking at this list I was on of like top 10 fashion meme accounts. And I was like, whoa, I don't recognize 7 of these. And it's because they all
Hmm.
pandered towards females. And they're also fashion meme accounts
Yeah.
that had gotten a similar idea to me. But instead of going, I don't want to say my audience is mainly male. I think it's like 80-20, which is kind of weird. But like, instead of like me pandering towards like male audience for the most part, they pander towards the female side of fashion. And that's just kind of how it is because there's menswear and women's wear. And, for the most
Yeah.
part, the trends are different for each gender, which is just how it is.
But it is cool that I'm starting to see a lot of people kind of experimenting with women's wear, which I would like to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole femboy thing and everything is really interesting. I
Yeah.
just like I don't like that there is that thing like this is for women, this is for men.
Mm-hmm.
You wear this, you wear this.
Well,
I
my
would like
take on
to
it
see the lines blurred.
is that the reason I think like somebody told me once that my take on it is like, there's like this is for men, this is for women. It's not the big problem with it is often it's down to the designer because like, I think like Craig Green, for example, I talked about this,
Hmm.
is that like of course he wants everybody to wear his clothes, but he designs specifically for the male body. The male body is so much easier to make a silhouette or to drape on than the female body just because of,
Hmm.
anatomy. And I think you should be able to experiment between the two and express yourself. But the reason there is that class category, that difference, is just because literally bodies are different
Hmm.
and it's the way drapes are, it's different. And I definitely don't, you should be able to be free to express yourself no matter what. And if you want to wear women's wear pieces, that's fire. Like I think I have a couple
Hmm.
of women's stuff myself, not a lot, mainly in my closet, I think is men's, but I definitely have like a couple of pairs of, I think my Yang Lee trousers are women's and they fit so fucking sick.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times the reason there is that, like I know everybody wants to go towards an androgynous thing, but sometimes certain clothes do legitimately fit a male body better in certain shapes,
Yeah.
and some shapes fit a female body better. But there's always that room for you to experiment and see what works with you. So it's kind of cool. But that's what I would say about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a cool perspective. Howdy, slimes and slats. I just woke up.
What's good? You, oh, there's a Playboy Cardi fan. We love that.
Where?
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I'm dumb.
Cardi, bro. Oh, man.
Is the golf wing boy the new supreme hype beast? Ooh, I don't
No,
think new. I don't think new.
I don't think so. Like, I think the new Supreme hype beast, I don't think there ever is going to be like a
Mm-mm.
new hype beast. Like, it's just that was a thing that was there for a while. Now everybody kind
Yeah.
of switches around. Culture doesn't, the thing about history and culture is that it doesn't really repeat itself. We always like to say, like, history repeats itself or culture repeats itself. And it really doesn't that well. There's never
Hmm.
going to be, I guess you can always make comparisons from one thing to another, but at the end of the day, things don't happen exactly the way they used to,
Apparently, Ari Petru still posts on Instagram. Was that like one of the supreme hype beast dudes? Oh, I think
I
I
have
know who
no
he's
idea.
talking about.
No
I think
idea.
he was like London's biggest hype beast or whatever. I would always see that on my recommended on
Was that like the
YouTube.
dude who used to wear like those really color coordinated fits with the hat, the beanie? It's a white kid.
Probably. I don't know. Thoughts on Drain Gang and their sort of association with archive fashionists?
I don't really know if they're associated really heavily with archive fashion. I don't really
Yeah,
actually look at a lot of Drain Gang fits, to be honest. So maybe you know more than me.
no, not really. I mean, I feel like the audiences just kind of overlap in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
yeah. I think the reason, yeah, though it's really just about that, like the audiences overlap. But Blade I know has been Blade and Echo both walked in a leaks, and then Blade has worn stats
yeah.
before.
Yeah. Wasn't that just like recent? Didn't they just recently do something with the leaks like the other day?
No idea
Echo and
about
Blade.
that. I know they walked for him like in 2018, and then
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they wore Blade War stats in like 2019. I just remember seeing Avery's story, and he's just like, Blade wearing stats, and he was so excited about it. Blade and stats. I was like,
Oh
damn,
my
Avery,
god.
calm down.
All caps.
I would be hyped though if Blade wore my clothes. That'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be sick for sure.
Mhm.
Is Drain Gang just a meme or are they any good? I genuinely enjoy it a
I
lot.
like it. Tommy put me onto it when I was like a year or two ago, because me and him always used to listen to Young Lean a little bit. Like we were both on Young Lean, but then he was more into like Drain Gang, Blade, and stuff. And then he kind of put me onto it, and I genuinely love it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I find a lot of my music through the Spotify like Discover Weekly playlist,
Hmm.
which is just like stuff that they think you would like. And Blade popped up on it like end of freshman year of high school for me. And like at first
Hmm.
I was like, I feel like I had the reaction that a lot of people would have was like, do I like
Yeah.
this? Do I not like this? So for a
Hmm.
while it was kind of just like, I don't know, it's there. It's in my playlist. I would skip over it sometimes. But like I wouldn't actually like dive deep into his stuff.
Hmm.
But dude, I really enjoy it now. It's like it's always playing in the background.
I don't know if it's always playing for me, but it's playing a lot. Like
Oh,
the
yeah, not always, but like often.
yeah, it's like, but I love it. Like it's good. I don't know. Drain Gang all the way.
Yeah, he said Ari Petru is that guy who wears match tees and shoes, ugly socks, and the same Discover pants over and over.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know who he's talking about. I don't know who that is, to be quite honest, but I think I know.
Do you think you've gone too hard on any piece of clothing meme wise or like brand? I'm just gonna generalize that.
Like gone too hard, like been too negative.
I
I don't
guess. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think there are too many GeoBasket memes. Like the other
Mhm.
day I tried to post a GeoBasket meme, like it was like the GeoBasket meme is dead. And like people still kept on doing it, which is fine. Like it's really
Yeah.
funny because now if you type into Google GeoBasket, the first thing that comes up is GeoBasket meme.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I like Rick a lot, but the GeoBasket meme kind of just makes me tired at this point. So same with
Yeah.
Philip Klein. Like they both kind of blew up and became really big memes.
My god. Like I don't think any amount of memes can really encapsulate how bad Philip Plain is though.
No, that's true. Like everybody likes to hate on it, but there are other brands too that are like Philip Klein that are like
Oh
just
yeah, definitely.
I don't talk about it. I really don't know because Philip Line was slightly a meme before I started memeing on it. Like it was
Hmm.
already kind of like a ooh Philip Line, but then I just really just hammered down at it, and that really screwed with the whole meme world. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if you really make a shirt that says "Stop being poor" on it, I
Yeah,
don't know what to
that's
say about that.
yeah. It's like, oh man, yeah. It's
I
like,
can't help but just laugh.
bro, it's so bad. Like you're just like, no, I can't deal with it. I don't think it's
Uh,
ironic either. So it's like, damn. All right.
yeah, exactly. I don't either.
Because like the thing
Um,
is I could see like ERD or Vetmont's doing that, and like people would just be like, "Oh
oh, for
yeah,
sure.
get it." Like it's like a take on capitalism or whatever, and it's like,
Mm,
anyway.
I think there's different ways. Like you talked about the Ratatouille shirt. That
Yeah,
was funny.
yeah, that's like how Vetmont's just operates. They're just like,
Yeah,
it's fun, it's cool. I like
yeah, it
Vetmont's.
is. It's definitely a departure from how serious a lot of stuff is, which I like.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Um, I recorded Connor's voice and I made a playlist, and it helps me sleeping.
that's
Oh
fire,
my god!
dude. Dang, I didn't know people were on it like that. Wow.
And then somebody asked my thoughts on Vestair. I really like the usability. I haven't
Hmm.
bought anything yet, but I've heard some really good things about it. I think he might actually be. He said he's Charles's assistant or something.
Who? The guy who's talking?
Um, Fleo Dre. I don't know.
Fleo G. Yeah, I know him. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Vestair is fire.
yeah.
Vestair is sick.
I have it. Have not purchased anything yet though. I'd like to.
I mean, you can actually do it. Just takes a lot of time of hunting on Vistair. It's like
Hmm.
because like Grailed, you can find anything pretty much like really
Yeah.
quickly,
Hmm.
but there's going to be tax on it usually. And
Yeah.
with like Vistair, the real like Bai or like from Japan or whatever you're using, you can find those pieces, but you have to hunt a lot more. But you're going
Yeah.
to find them for cheaper most of the time. You know,
Would you wear Diet Prada merch?
would I wear
Oh
Diet
my
Prada
god.
merch? No, I would not. I'm sorry. Sorry, people. I'm
Hell
not
no.
wearing the Diet Prada merch.
Who's someone you want to work with if you could in the future?
As far as like influencers or brands, I would love to I don't know. I'd love to work with Yang Lee or Craig.
Hmm.
I don't know what that would look like, to be quite honest. With Yang Lee, I don't know if it would be like an internship or just like doing some marketing work for them or being like wearing their stuff. Like I've
Yeah.
considered modeling too, so I don't know, might do that. The other thing is I would love to work with a lot of bands and design their t-shirts, honestly.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Like the thing I would love to do in like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to design like, like my own brand." And I'm like, "Yo, that's cool." But honestly, it would make me I just kind of feel like it would make me a lot more happy if I didn't have that pressure and I just was like
Hmm.
literally designing cool t-shirts for smaller artists I care about. Like I think that would be something that I'd really enjoy.
Yeah. I would like, okay, short term, I'd love to do like one of these with Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Hit them
would
up.
love to do, yeah, I will. I like in the future. Um, I'd love to do an internship like somewhere like Stotz or not like something that necessarily huge, but I feel like that would be a cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really have any huge people that I would want to work with in mind right now. Kind of just going with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is that like whenever a opportunity comes, you don't ever really expect it, but
Yeah.
you're always really excited when it happens. Like for
Hmm.
example, like for me personally, like the people, when I was younger who I really wanted to work with never really reached out. But then like a lot of the people when I kind of got bigger who reached out, like I was, they tended to be like I was really excited about it. And I didn't think
Yeah.
I would like have a relationship with these people or I didn't even know about them,
Yeah.
but they were the ones who reached out. And no matter what, I'm like really grateful that I had those opportunities
Hmm.
to reach
For
out with
sure.
people. And I never thought I would reach the people who would reach out to me would reach out, so it's never really about, who you want to work with. It's about who wants to work with you in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Like even this, like when you DM me, I was like, damn, that's cool. I've been watching Carson for a while. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, that's pretty dope.
Hmm.
Um, Zoom graduation about to be lit. Dude, I feel bad for people who are graduating, honestly.
I sort of feel bad. Like the thing is again, like, I never had a graduation when I was in high
Yeah, I
school.
mean, damn.
So like I can't really empathize. Like I just made that decision. Like I don't really care about the ceremony. Like it's just like,
Okay, yeah. I don't really either. Like, I don't like high school. Like,
hmm
I don't enjoy it. I just don't.
hmm
Um, so like, I guess just for the people that do, and like, there's people that really, really care about high school a lot.
and that
And
was always weird to me. Like I
yeah,
didn't
I know it is, but like, some people like build up so much to graduation and then
hmm
no more.
No, well, I feel bad for them. Like the thing was is I went to prom once and like I never did like the whole graduation thing. And I just never
Hmm.
thought it was really I don't want to say it was fun because I enjoyed going to prom and I like liked who I went with and all that, but like it was never like a big thing for me. I was kind of like, oh, I got to do this to for like, because
Yeah.
everybody else is doing it. And I was just like, all right, whatever.
Hmm.
But um yeah, I just like for me, like when I was 17, I went to college and I started like my junior year pretty much the second quarter I just started taking all online kind of college classes, and then in the
Okay.
summer I got accepted into a program that was studying classical art and archaeology, and so it was like
Hmm.
originally my major when I was 17. And so I studied in Italy for a semester. So for over like 3 months, I studied in Italy, like
That's
archaeology
so
and
sick.
shit like that. And then, I kind of got back and I was like, either I can go back to high school or I can go to college. So I just went to college from then on. And
Yeah,
now I'm a
I would
junior.
probably make the same choice.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you got to. How was studying in Italy? Like,
So it was kind of amazing. It was really cool. It was like a really influential time in my life because like, before then, like me, Ezra, and Tommy were all like into like kind of like fashion and stuff like that.
mhm,
But like we were all like not really like we aren't who we were today at the time. It was like 2 or 3 years ago now. And it
yeah,
was just like we're all younger. But then like when I went to Italy, like I got the chance to see like a lot of like Margiela and stuff like that. And it was like mostly when I was there, it was like a lot of learning. Like I was literally going to archaeological like sites
yeah.
and like seeing
Oh
like,
my God.
look at this vase we just dug up. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And I was also like the second youngest person on the trip because there's like a lot of like undergraduates too. And I was like
Mhm.
17, there'd be like 20-year-olds. So it was like a very
That's
like
crazy.
interesting thing for me personally because it was like it was kind of somewhat like lonely in a way because I was so young and everybody else was like much older than me.
Mhm.
And then, but it was also very cool and it kind of inspired me because I like high school was never that fun for me. Like
Oh yeah, me neither.
it just wasn't like my thing personally. Like I loved hanging out with Ezra and Tommy because we were like friends, but we weren't like all in the same friend group. It was kind of like one of those things like where like you and your homies hang out of
Yeah.
school, but you never hang
Mhm.
out during school. So like we would all like hang out like on the weekends or every once in a while after school and we'd go like fool around Minneapolis and like go to like thrift shops
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff like
cool.
that. It was really fun. And then like I got more into fashion when I went into Italy and was like studying classical art and like
Mm.
archaeology and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that's what I thought was going to be my major for a
Wow.
while. So, yeah.
So what is your major now?
My major is now marketing because I was like
Okay, yeah.
cuz when I first started off in school, it was really weird. I was like a art history archaeology major
Mhm.
and then with a fashion minor was my idea
Okay.
behind it, which doesn't make sense at all. But it was like kind of
Hmm.
in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm gonna like do both of these things. And it was like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's gonna work out. And then I still love archaeology and like art history and history in general. But for me, it's um, you know, it's like both that and fashion, like I love them a lot, but I don't know
Hmm.
if that's what I wanted to study. So now I study
Yeah.
marketing. And
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want to study at all. I know, like, I'm really wanting to live in New York, but
Hmm.
I just don't know how that's going to work out, especially with this whole thing.
Yeah.
You never
But
really know.
you have time, like I'd say,
Yeah.
like, but New York is it's a different beast going out there. It
Yeah.
is.
I only spent 2 years, I mean, 2 days last summer, and
Hmm.
I really loved the experience. Just, I like the environment. I felt like I belonged in a way, but like, I don't know. I feel like I need to spend more time there to actually decide if I like it or not.
So I was like, that was my thing when I was like, I thought I was going to go to college in New York and I was like
Hmm.
going to apply to like FIT and Parsons and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
then I don't, I loved it a lot. And like, cause like there was like a week where I went to New York just like with like my
Hmm.
parents and they just kind of let me do whatever I want. And I was like 16 at the time, which I'm not sure if that was like the best idea is just like let
That's
me
cool.
wander around the streets of New York because I could have gotten like
Yeah.
lost or mugged or something. But I really loved it and that was super influential for me. And I just kind of ended up going to Seattle because it was just like a kind of a chiller vibe because I do like New
Mhm.
York a lot, but it's also really expensive. And Seattle just was less expensive and kind of chill, which I liked.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I was supposed to go to Seattle for spring break,
Hmm.
but that did not work out, unfortunately.
Spring break didn't work out for many
Yeah.
people. Yeah, I was also supposed to go places, and it's just life
Yeah.
right now at this point.
Some people still did though. So,
Some people still did. To you people out there, I don't know if that was the best move, but
oh my God. Like I saw I saw like interviews of people at the beaches in Miami.
Yeah,
Oh
those were
my
great.
God, the ignorance.
Straight up, like people were just doing whatever they wanted, which is, that's
Yeah.
them. I don't know. It's
Somebody
America.
said, I heard you play guitar. What guitar do you own? Do you play or are they talking to me?
I do play, like I play an acoustic, and that's it. Like pretty much.
Cool. My dad has a old Les Paul that I play sometimes, but
Oh,
I'm
nice.
not really that good. Yeah. I
I'm
played
not
like when I was
amazing
little.
either.
I played when I was little from like I took lessons from when I was like 6 to maybe 12, but
Hmm.
I just stopped. But ever since I've been in the house a lot, I've picked it up again and it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. It's just not like like I like working on music. I think it's fun, to like
Hmm.
jam with your friends or whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
not very good at it.
From what year is the Les Paul? I think sometime mid 90s.
Hmm.
Seattle's weather goes rain, rain. Haha.
Not, yeah,
Is it
sort of.
really that bad? Like,
No, not really. Like it's like it's always kind of dark and cloudy, but it never really rains a lot. So
um, anything else I want to talk about? Oh yeah. Are there any like fashion resources or books or even not related to fashion, just like anything you've been reading or consuming that you'd recommend to other people?
yeah, I've been reading a lot of like old books.
Mhm.
I don't know. As far as like fashion, um, I just watched the Yoji documentary, Notes from something like that. I don't know. Let me look at
Mhm.
what it's called, but that was really cool. Yoji
Have you
documentary.
seen the Margiela documentary?
Not yet. What is it called? Notes. Notes.
Yeah, I
Yoji.
watched the Margiela one. I got a link to it.
Hmm.
It was very, I really, really, really liked it. Like, thought it was very well made.
Yeah, dude. I got the link to it. I just didn't have time to watch it at the time, and then I
Hmm.
lost the link.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I need to watch it at some point. I'm really excited. But Notes on Cities and Clothes is the Yoji documentary, which is really good. And then
Cool.
I've also been reading like Paradise Lost by John Milton, The Plague by Camus. I'm just looking at what I have. Augustine's Confessions, Sor Juana Inez de la Cruz. So that's just what I've been reading. And then I also got Notes from the Underground by Dostoevsky. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but him.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're putting me on to some good stuff, I'm guessing.
It's all just like, I don't know, it's stuff I find interesting. Like it's not
Hmm.
for everybody, but those are just like the books I've been reading that like, I don't know. They're like kind of like considered
Cool.
like, I don't know, books I like. Yeah.
Yeah. I got this book recommended by Bliss Foster for everybody watching. It's called House of Leaves. It's already starting to freak me out, and I'm only like 70 pages in, but told me it would mess me up. And it's about like a dude who has a house and finds like these winding hallways that keep expanding that just like appear inside his house.
Yeah, that's
So I'm very,
creepy.
yeah. Uh, I haven't read it in a few days, but yeah, I'm only like that far into it. And then I watched the Margiela documentary. I have I think I talked about this in the last stream actually, but I have the Comme des Garçons Art of the In-Between book, which is like a book that accompanied the exhibition in New York, which is really
Hmm.
cool from the Met. Learned a lot of stuff about Ray from that. You said you got that like
I
years
have
ago,
that.
which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I literally I bought it when I like barely knew anything about Comb because I just was like, I want
Hmm.
to know more about this brand because I'd like
Yeah.
at the time I literally only owned CDG Play, and then like also I saw that there was also these other weird funky things, and I was like, I kind of want to understand
Yeah.
this, and like, oh, this is weird. But then I kind of gained an understanding about it, and it was
Yeah.
really cool.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had the CDG Play Converse as well. Handed
Yeah,
them down to my brother.
they're classic. They're classic, bro. You gotta
Yep.
respect the drip, Karen. You know, just gotta respect the drip, bro. You got the CDG cons on. You're gonna have a good day. got CDG cons.
Definitely. Or a bad day, depending on how you look at it, depending on the reason you wear them.
Depending on it, yeah, definitely.
Somebody said, I know it's kind of out of place for you guys, for you Avant boys, but Very Ralph is a good documentary. I haven't heard of that actually. I'm guessing it's about Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren, yeah. Yeah, no, Ralph Lauren's cool because he's one of like the first American designers to get respect, honestly. So, yeah.
Somebody said next video coming out soon for both of you.
A couple of days. I have like a couple recorded, honestly, and I just need to edit. One, I almost have 99% edited it, and I just need to upload.
Cool.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I can't do that. Like, I can't edit a video partially and then come back to it. Like, I have to, like, if I sit down, like, I don't want to, but like part of me like makes myself finish editing it.
Part of it is that I got an editor, which has been the most helpful thing for me, who is just cool. He's down to do whatever. And so like he'll edit like 90% of it, and then he'll be like, just take out any of the parts you don't want in there. And I'll just take out any of the parts or like add any of the parts I want in. And that really helps. So yeah.
Yeah. I've had an offer for somebody to edit videos for me, but like, I don't know, since I've been doing it for a while, like I just don't see the point. Like I don't love editing anymore, but I feel like if somebody else did it for me, I just wouldn't feel like it's the same. I don't know.
It definitely isn't. Like people can tell the different styles, but at the same time, you get to make twice the content. So.
Yeah, that is a good point. Can Karsten grow a beard?
Yeah, I've shaved because whenever I do grow out my facial hair, I kind of look like William Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, but if he was on crack. Like a cracked out William Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's not good, but yeah, I can. I just shave because it's bad. It does not look good.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't, so I can't really speak on that. You're a bit older than me though, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. Like I'm not that much older. You know?
I mean, yeah, true. But name one thing you're seeing while sales season that you think about copying. Nothing really, honestly.
I found one Craig Green jacket, and my friend showed it to me. He's like, you should cop this because it wasn't Ezra sent it to me. He's like, it wasn't in his size, and it was on extra markdown. It was like a Craig Green work jacket for like $150. I was like, yo, this is a good cop. So I got that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first wave of the Essence sale doesn't really do much for me. Like,
no.
Yeah,
I agree. Essence has been a little bit weak lately. They used to have really good deals on like Yang Lee, but
yeah,
Craig and Martine Rose, but
their styling is still obviously great, but I can't really, I don't know, nothing on there as of right now is something that I would really want to buy.
Not this season, which is fine. It just happens. It's too bad, but.
Karsten, is buying Doc Martens a good idea?
Depends on who you are, and it depends on your price range, and it depends on your budget. I don't know. Yeah, it can be. It cannot be. It's not something I'm against.
Yeah. Somebody said anything random identities.
Don't know a lot about that brand.
Neither do I. No.
I don't know that.
Raft Docs.
Yeah, I forgot about the Raft Docs. I don't. That's pretty hype for people. Yeah, that's pretty hype for people though.
Yeah.
I don't get it. They just like, I don't know. I guess I kind of like fell into the Raf Simons Stan Smith trap when I was younger because it's like a easy shoe to cop because it's like something you're familiar with the silhouette, but it's like a little bit elevated.
Yeah. That was like the first thing I saw, which I think is probably the same for a lot of people, was the Stan Smiths.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since I was like in middle school at the time.
Yeah. I remember seeing, I think the first the first Raf I came across, and most of the first like big high fashion pieces I came across was Archive Raf actually. And so that was always big for me, was Archive Raf, but yeah.
Cool. Noah has amazing loafers. I've never taken a look at those, honestly.
I'm never really been into Noah. Yeah, I know a lot of people like it, but I just don't get it, really.
Yeah.
I guess I think a lot of people have compared it to like a more mature Supreme, you know.
Hmm.
But
Definitely like the places that stock it reflect that. Like Kith.
Yeah, Kith is never been in a Kith either. I don't really.
I mean, the store,
it's like sneaker
it's
stuff, right?
cool to look at. Not all of it. I mean, I went to the one in New York, and like, of course, the store layout is cool. They have like all white rooms
Yeah.
and stuff, but they carry like Aleeks and Needles.
Aleeks is
And
cool.
yeah, I feel like it gets a bad rep
Yeah,
just because, haha, funny buckle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. Do you
All
have
right.
anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Let me think here. Like, anything I really just want to talk about. I don't know. Was there any musical artist that like got you into fashion big time? Was there like someone who influenced you a lot? I'm kind of curious about this one because I know my answer, but
Honestly, trying to think of like looking back at who I was listening to like when I was getting into this, because I've like always jumped in between like different things to listen to. Like there's like the rock stuff that my dad has always like put me on to, and like being at those shows kind of in a way, I don't know, I wouldn't say that music honestly like got me into fashion. It was other avenues. What about you?
was there ever like an influencer in particular who like you, yeah, who was like the biggest influence on your style, starting out or now,
like
or
starting out, honestly, probably Jacob Wallace.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Which like definitely not anymore, but that started my like whole rabbit hole, I guess. What about you? What are your like first influences, like getting into it?
First getting into it, definitely just like old punk stuff because I just wear like old punk t-shirts. And then like it was like 2014, 2015 when I first started getting into it, when like Travis Scott wasn't like huge. And so for me, like I was like a really big Travis Scott fanboy in like 2015, which is so weird because it does not go with like who I am. Like most people wouldn't think that. But back when I was like 15, I was like, yo, Travis Scott. I saw him as like the next kind of like Kurt Cobain or punk figure, like bringing punk to the mainstream.
Yeah, so, I actually, oh, go ahead.
So like seeing him in like Archive, not necessarily like because of him, I kind of got into like band tees because he was also wearing like band tees and stuff like that. And I was like, I love those bands. And I had like some of the same band tees he had. And then I just kind of like took his styling like with like whatever he was wearing. And then I like got into more like Archive stuff, really. Like I got really big into like old Raf Simons. And then I also saw he wore old Raf Simons. So like that was like a weird thing. I guess not a lot of people know about me is that like Travis Scott used to be like big inspiration for me back in the day.
I actually ran into him at a sneaker store in Chicago when I was like, I think I was in 8th grade.
That's insane.
One sec, I'm gonna pull up the picture. I'm gonna expose myself right now, but that's okay. Yeah, we were playing the Keymaster game at this shoe store, and he came in. He was like, "Yo, how do you play this game?" So like we were like showing him, and okay, I wasn't like sure like who it was at first. Like I was just totally like mindless, like, oh, this is just some dude. And I think, and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna give you money to play the game. So he started giving us like $100 bills to play the Keymaster game.
That's insane.
And keep in mind, we were like 13, so we're like, oh my god, who is this guy giving us money? And then he like told us like that's who he was, and we were like, oh my god, it's Travis Scott. And like looking back at it, so we were talking to his merch guy at the time, and like I'm pretty sure it was Virgil, but I'm not totally sure. Yeah, look at this.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like in like 2014, like when I was first starting out on this stuff, like Travis wasn't huge, and now he is, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
like
it's
like
weird.
A very different. It's like it's kind of weird because like whenever I like tell people that, they're like, "What? You were into Travis Scott?" And they always kind of think of like who he is now, and I'm like, "Yo, he was kind of different back then." I was kind of
Yeah.
different too. But I don't know. Travis Scott's old stuff was fire. Love it.
Do you guys feel that the only way to get into the fashion scene is through YouTube or Instagram? I don't know. At
No,
this point,
no.
I don't
But
really
that's
know.
like a big. That's like big. But a
Yeah,
lot of.
obviously it's like the easiest.
I mean, a lot of people just do it through like college and going to work for people. You know,
Mhm.
that's how most people do it. Like a lot of the people I know who work the hardest and work the most in like the industry don't actually have a lot of Instagram followers or anything.
Mhm.
But
Cool. Travis Scott in 2015. Travis Scott is a Fortnite skin not so long ago, you dummy.
oh man, yep, that's how it is now. It's so weird.
It really is like, oh
So
my God.
that's like a
Like,
huge change of like personal brand with him. So
yeah, seriously, character development. Same with like Tyler.
yeah,
Even though he was still big, like back then, it's just like a different lane.
yeah. Same with Travis. When like Rodeo came out, like it was like a different aesthetic, different sound
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Totally.
People like,
Days before Rodeo.
even people who like aren't necessarily like people who wouldn't have been into him back then are definitely into him now. Like a
Yeah.
lot of the people from like my hometown and stuff are like huge into Travis Scott.
And I don't get why that like that's always been something I've been frustrated with, is because like
Yeah.
back in 2014 and 2015, like there were people like knew Antidote and that was it.
Hmm.
And then like people, I would be like, yo, I love this Travis Scott guy. And like kids would be like, he's weird. You know, like in high school,
Yeah.
that's how it was. Like I'd just be this kid
Yeah.
who was like into like kind of hype beastie stuff. And then like I'd be like, yo, Travis Scott is this fire dude. Everybody's like, yo, you're weird. No, but that's how it was back in the day.
Cool. Ramones equals CDG Converse.
No.
No. Yeah, I see that comparison being made a lot though, which is
It's
kind of strange.
It's just because they're both based on Converse, but like at the same time,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Um,
Hey,
Travis Scott was never small per se. Al Farrell did super well. I mean, everybody's small at some point.
yeah, like it did okay, I'd say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't like, you can't really compare him now to him then, because like it's like huge. Like yeah,
Mhm.
it did well, but it's like I'm trying to think of who would be like a modern example of like where Travis Scott was back in the day.
Yeah.
Like maybe Peggy 2 years ago. Like JPEG Mafia, if you know who he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I love his music, dude.
Like if that was where Travis Scott was back in the day. Like I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty
That is actually
solid
like, now that
example.
I think of it, that's a pretty cool like comparison.
Because like that's like how Travis Scott was. People don't understand that. I think a lot of the time is that he was so like I don't want to say he was so underground, because he was like with a lot of pretty mainstream people, but
Mhm.
so is Peggy, and it's like kind of like he's this kind of figure in the mainstream who is really
Yeah.
underground and like only a couple of people like really liked, you know.
I feel like also like I don't know if you listen to Denzel Curry, but like
Yeah.
a few years, like 2017 Denzel Curry, I think I could draw some parallels between those two as well. But
Yeah.
like I saw Denzel Curry at that Riot Fest festival in 2016.
Yeah,
And
because
to see his growth is crazy.
he's an insane artist. I'd love to.
He really is.
There's like a list of people, like I've never thought about like really actually being like a stylist, but there's a list of people I'd love to style, and like he's on that. Like him, Peggy,
Yeah.
Earl Sweatshirt.
Doesn't Zillakami follow your meme account?
Yeah, Zillakami, I'd like to
I looked
style
at
him
that. That's
too.
pretty dope.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like the one dude who I've actually talked to too. I'm like, dang, he's like really down to earth, and like he'll answer my DMs, which is really surprising.
Yeah,
But
I feel like a lot of people are scared of him.
I was immediate when I first met him, and then, well, not when I first met him, but when he first started following me, and then
Yeah.
like I realized the reason he followed me was because we actually had like a lot in common. Like we both are really into like I don't know, like the hardcore emo scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so then like literally one time I saw he posted like one of the bands I loved on his story, and like I just kind of followed him back because it's like it's Zillakami.
Cool.
I'm like, yo, dude, I love that. And he's like,
Yeah.
yo, straight up, like that's fire, man. And I'm like, you know, it's just kind of like
It's
stuff
crazy
like that.
to think that he was like with 6'9".
Yeah,
Zillikami in 6'9".
he made 6'9" pretty much when he was
Yeah, I
16,
know.
which is crazy.
Like that character development is weird.
Yo, he's like, the thing about him is that like from what I know about him is like and just like my small interactions, like it's like you
Yeah.
DM them something, they say haha, or like, you know, they're like they make
Hmm.
another joke back, you know, just small things. But like from what I know is like he created that style of like screamo rap, and it was because he was into
Yeah.
like hardcore bands himself, so it's cool.
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I really like Zillikami, and I mean City Morgue. I kind of like a little bit less than Zillikami's old solo stuff.
I like his
I
solo
don't know.
stuff better too,
Yeah,
because it's like
for sure.
I also like, I know Slow Tie, JPEG, Zillikami, and Denzel are all forming their own group, super group. So I'm
Oh
excited
yeah,
for
I
that.
heard about that. Dude,
It's
that's
like the
gonna be
Man
insane.
Band or something. I'm excited about that. I want to see that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Karsten, do you own any Jordans?
never owned any Jordans, not once.
Never.
Never. And it's just because
Wow.
like like I've never really been big into sneakers ever. Like I think that's like how a lot of
Okay.
people get into it is through sneakers, and
Yeah,
then
I did for sure.
that was never me. Like I was just like, the main thing that got me into it was like I was wearing band tees, and I
Hmm.
wasn't really into hip hop for a while. And then I kind of came across Kanye and Travis was like wearing some pretty similar tees to me, and it seemed like he was into like the same kind of bands. And so then I
Yeah.
started kind of buying like, you know, biker denim, like ripped jeans from Pakistan, like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know. And like never really any sneakers, just kind of always styled it with Vans because I always kind of liked
Okay.
skating and stuff. And then, you know, I met Ezra and Tommy in high school because we were like those weird kids who like were into
Hmm.
fashion.
Yeah.
And then we all just kind of started helping each other grow. And I remember like each of us kind of had like a different like avenue and like way of influencing each other. Like Tommy was
Hmm.
big into vintage, and like
Yeah, he still is.
yeah, he still is. And he was like big into like SoundCloud rap, and he like showed us
Okay.
Cardi way before Cardi was popping. He showed us X way before X was popping.
Cool.
And he also showed us like vintage, and he was like really big into time. Like he showed me like Midnight Studios, like
Oh yeah.
and like needles and stuff like that. And then Ezra was always kind of more in tune with like the European scene, like Prada and
Hmm.
like Craig Green, for example, and like stuff like that. And he kind of,
Definitely Craig Green. That's
yeah. And
dude.
like
His fits are great.
his fits are awesome. And then I was always kind of more into just like maybe I'd say archive, like just kind of punky stuff. Like I used to be
Hmm.
really big into old Undercover, like again,
Okay. Yeah.
and like old RAF. And it was like a lot of the time with like our group, like I could never like really afford a lot of the archive stuff. Like I had to hunt for a lot of it.
Hmm.
So, you know, I don't know. What was the original question? I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent.
Um, it
What
was
were
just
we
if you have
talking
any
about?
Jordans.
Oh yeah. So like I don't know. I just never been into sneakers. It's always been more about like clothes for me than
Hmm.
sneakers. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just rock Vans, Converse a lot, honestly. And then like I have some boots that I like, and
Mhm.
some Rick. I mean I guess I've been into like Rick shoes. Like that's the closest I've ever gotten to sneakers is like
Okay. Yeah.
buying Rick shoes because those are kind of sneakery.
Yeah, me personally, I definitely started off with sneakers in like middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like obsessed. I don't know. It was like kind of weird,
Well, it's like a
like how
cool
much.
thing, you know?
Yeah, but like the community is like way worse than the fashion community. Like
Yeah.
if I went to Complex Con last year just to see, like I went to meet up with some people,
Mm-hmm.
and the sneaker resellers are just grown adults. Okay, they're grown adults, maybe in their like 40s, who will push through the line of like 12-year-olds to get to the front, and then like buy all the shoes, and then like shove it in the little 12-year-olds faces that they didn't get it.
Yo, that's kind of
It's like
weird.
really toxic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about sneaker culture. I've never been into it, but that's
Yeah,
interesting.
you're not missing out. I
Okay.
don't think you're missing out at all.
All right. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I've never owned any Jordans. Yeah, I don't know. I just wear Vans and Converse for the most part, to be
Hmm.
quite honest. But yeah.
Interesting. Those reseller adults reminded me of the chicken guy in Toy Story 2. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yo, Toy Story 2 is good. It's a good movie.
Um, any other dude? People are asking like what pieces they need. Literally, like what you like. I don't know. I can't like tell you what you should buy because I don't know you.
No, it all depends on body type, what your personal interest is. Like, I mean, I come out with like videos of like basics people can buy,
Hmm.
and you can go check those out on my channel. But like, I'm not gonna tell you to go drop $400 on like a pair of pants, like,
Yeah,
and say that's like an essential. Like a lot of people, like I've seen videos before, or like people in comments say like, "Oh, you need Om Please Issey Miyake pants because that's like an essential." And it's like, is it though?
yeah.
Like, might not fit some people the way it
Hmm.
fits others, but
Yeah, like I tried a pair of those on and I just didn't think it really fit me that well. I don't know.
mhm.
I don't know if it was just like the specific cut that they had them in because there's like a few different ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't like the kind of funnel shape of the leg.
No, I like them, and I've like had them before for a very brief amount of time,
Hmm.
but like they're cool, but like I just never was a huge fan. Like I liked them, but didn't love them.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people do treat as like kind of elevated type of essential thing that they need.
Mm-hmm. Is
It's
like,
interesting to me.
yeah, like that Ramones and like some other stuff they like treat as elevated essentials, which is,
Yeah.
it's valid, but at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like not everybody needs these. These aren't essentials. They're like
Yeah.
good pieces to experiment with, but I wouldn't call them elevated essentials. No.
How do you feel about the archive pages that post pics of rappers and stuff like Lil Jupiter? I don't know.
Never been a big fan of those accounts, like
Yeah, it's
ever.
kind of just like mindless. I don't know.
Yeah, like
There's
on it.
some interesting things that you can see on there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've just never been. I don't know. Even when I was like first getting into it, like it was never cool to me, in my
Hmm.
opinion, just because
Yeah,
I thought it
that
was weird.
that brings me back to like the whole Travis Scott thing. Like they posted the Fortnite thing over and over and over again,
Oh yeah.
and like, oh my god, dude, how many times do we need to see Travis Scott is on Fortnite?
Oh, I know. It's like that, and that like that's the thing about like Travis Scott that like makes me mad is that like he's kind of turned into something he didn't used to be, which is fine. Like everybody
Hmm.
changes. He just got more mainstream, and it was kind of like, all right, whatever. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, it's like they always post the same stuff too, which
Hmm.
is just annoying.
Literally just recycled.
And it's always they always kind of steal content too, so I'm not really
Yeah, from each
for
other,
that.
which also leads to them posting it more and more. Just
Yeah,
other ones.
yeah, I'm not for it. It's not my deal.
Yeah. But there are some like actual like archive pages that sell. Like I have some friends that run some just like selling pages
Oh, real
that
archive
do,
pages are cool.
yeah, do like really in-depth write-ups.
Hmm.
And I've actually learned stuff from that. And I really think that has value in educating people who
Yeah,
either even if you're not just starting to get into it, like you can learn some stuff from those pages, which are cool.
yeah, those are awesome pages. Like real archive pages are insane.
Yeah.
Like I know many of them. Like there's a lot of like really cool real ones that I like.
Yeah.
So, but like the fake
Um,
kind of Jordan, like Travis Scott Fortnite ones, I'm not a fan of.
yeah, those guys posted random stolen pictures and claimed them to be icons.
Yeah, they're like mood boards. I'd say
Hmm.
is a better way of saying it. Which is like mood board pages are cool. Like if you want to have a mood board, I used to have a huge mood board Instagram account, and
Oh,
I never
really?
shared it with anybody. It was like I think 2,000 posts.
Damn.
So because it was like when I was actually working as a fashion major, I just used Instagram because it was kind of easy to upload all
Hmm.
the pictures to one place. And so it was like a lot of posts, and just like it was everything. But I also never let anyone follow it either. That was the
Okay.
thing,
Yeah.
because it was like my private mood board. I didn't want people taking my references, you know?
Yeah. Um, it's like, look, guys, picture from Pulp Fiction, screenshot from the Joker. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of random stuff that is popular, I guess. for
Yeah,
most of them.
that's seen as edgy. It's like, ooh, Pulp Fiction, ooh,
Yeah.
Joker. Like Joker's not. Yeah. Anyway.
Um, yeah, those pages are just kind of ridiculous.
They bore me, honestly.
Hmm.
Just kind of boring.
For sure. All right. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh wow. We've been doing this for a minute. All right. Well,
Yeah.
anything
Thank you
else?
so much for joining me.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
very
great
fun.
being here, bro. It was cool. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Another way.
I have like a podcast thing that we're starting. It's just like a bi-weekly live stream with a couple dudes, and
Fire.
we'd love to have you on that sometime down the road.
Sick. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Well, it was good
Well, thank you
streaming
so
with you.
much.
See you, bro.
Yeah.
All
See
right.
ya.